So yes, once again here with Raj Kotecha, and Raj, as you said, man, it's been a long time we've been trying to put this together, and you've been a very busy man traveling this year, man. So what have been some of your highlights been for 2016?
I'd say the amount of ground that I've covered this year has been good because I've been managed to dip in and out of different markets. So I've been to, it's good to get a good handle on what's going on in the Middle East. So I spend about 6 to 8 months out of the year in Dubai. Definitely I avoid the summer, so I spend winter in Dubai, summer in London. It was so it's good to get out to like Qatar and Bahrain. Went out to Egypt, that was dope. Last year I was in Addis Ababa. Just came back from Sri Lanka, Lisbon, Mumbai, Udaipur. Had a gig out there. I'd say that everything had its pros and cons, but the way as I reflect on it, as you often do in December, I think just the overall amount of 20, 30 flights, whatever it was, the aggregate effect of it is what makes me feel quite good about this year, although tired.
Of course. And all of those trips, they all business related, or you had a chance to have any holidays within that?
There was a little bit of downtime. Like I went with the girl to south of France for a little bit and caught up with some folks down there. But the way I feel like, and this is really I think something that people need to know about 2016. It's not that it's good or that it's bad. It's not that it's Trump or that it's Brexit. It's just that wherever you go, including Nigeria, where there's issues with oil prices and commodities or whatever it may be, the deck is just being reshuffled. The decks, no pun intended, but the deck is being reshuffled in a lot of the major markets, right? In Japan and Southeast Asia and India is now coming back on and doing some really interesting things. So there's been opportunities everywhere, and that's meant that probably the amount of holiday time that I'd like to have had in a perfect romantic world, I've probably not had this year. It's led to some blocks of hardcore rest, as I mentioned in Sri Lanka, like 3 days in bed in a resort. But it's there's a lot of opportunity, dude. There's so much opportunity in the world right now. It literally makes my head spin, and I need to think about how I use my 18 hours I am putting work in a day to grab some Netflix time and some relaxing time.
On average, that's your sort of working day, 18
Well,
hours?
the thing is, if I sleep for 6 hours, I can't necessarily say there's huge blocks unless I fall asleep of relaxing time. And and it's the way that modern hustlers work, right? I wake up, I check my email. If there's anything that's coming from any of those markets that I work in, because of different time zones, I address them immediately, and it's the last thing I kind of check before I go to bed. So in that 18 hours, huge disproportionate chunk is thinking about work or doing work or making plans for the future or adjusting my resources, and stuff comes up all the time. I'm trying to get hold of my web developer at the moment who's been AWOL for a week, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on there so I can get that back online. My accountant, rest in peace, died 3 days ago, and things can just happen and fall on your lap. And as an entrepreneur, especially when you're the sole guy in the business, I'm the CEO, and that sounds good, but I'm also the bookkeeper, the bin man. I'm my own PA. You have to do everything, and it's constantly putting out fires. But would I trade it? No, because we are really living in the best time ever. This run that we're about to have, from 2017 up to 2025, you can see what's coming down the line, and it's just the best time ever to be doing what we do. And it's even better if you're like you and I, because we've been blessed with creativity. We came from a culture where we had to be resourceful, the hip-hop culture, and I think that maps really great into where the business world is going today. Right.
And what's the the primary attraction with Dubai? Because I mean, over the past few years, I've known like a lot of DJs going over there, the shorty blitzes and the like. Considering you're spending 8 months out of 12 out there, what's the big attraction for you?
Dubai has something that I think at the moment in the UK we don't have, particularly post-Brexit, which is vision. So they have a Sheikh Mohammed, and he is a sheikh, and that's fine, but he's actually, if you really strip everything away, he's a leader, and leaders have a vision. And I would say that his vision for Expo 2020, so the World Expo is coming to Dubai in 2020, and right at the end of that, which goes into 2021, is the 50th anniversary of the UAE, the establishment of the country. So all systems are tuned towards that. So if you're looking for somewhere to put your effort, at the very least, when you show up in Dubai, map your efforts to what's happening in 2020, 2021. So, some of the objectives that he has as a leader is that he's trying to make sure that there's 20 million landed tourists a year. So, of course, now that opens up a huge amount of opportunities for people like us in entertainment, because bars, restaurants, clubs need DJs, music planners, entertainment directors, because when all these 20 million people land, what they can do after 7 o'clock, they need to go for dinner somewhere, and after that they need to go for a drink somewhere. that's where our talent comes in. So you can do that, or you can look at 100 different options. But on the flip side, on the very generic side, the weather is good. It's extremely safe. It's not a perfect society, but certainly it comes with less day-to-day tension, I feel. On the flip side, here we are in kind of like the Camden, North London area. It's a great place I come to London every couple of months, and certainly over the summer. It's like charging my battery with creativity, because I'm still from Salford. Don't forget, I'm a Salford boy. The hood, the streets, that charges me up. I like to be walking past places where there's a random DJ battle happening, or people are beatboxing, or there's someone writing graffiti, or there's or even going to like Shakespeare's Globe, or to an art gallery, or going to a Ray concert, like that stuff that you don't get at the same frequency in Dubai today. And so I think you need the balance of both.
Okay, all right. Just before we sign out, I asked you earlier on about some of the mistakes that people are making as far as trying to build an audience and such. What would you say are some of the top tips that come to mind for you as far as people trying to monetize off of their efforts?
With me, a lot of I have a funnel. I know that I'm very aware of the fact that from my perspective, and you can just take how I've done it for myself and map it to whichever world your world is as a listener, is that I know that I go out and I DJ and I create noise and I post content about my traveling because it acts as a funnel to my corporate work. So when I say to people when I'm out and about and they say, what do you do? I go, I'm a DJ. And they go, wow, that's amazing. And then they ask you about DJing, and then the natural thing they do is, what else do you do? So DJing is the really, really sexy thing, the sizzle, and then you funnel them right through to something that you can monetize. So if you're like a graffiti artist, but you're an account manager for an agency in the day, or you're a dancer, but in the evening or in the day you're a dog, you're a vet. Yeah. Tell people you're a dancer, because that's going to spike their interest, and then use that as a funnel, so that when they say, what else do you do, you let them know what else you do. And again, it's almost like that kind of, it's similar to the jab, 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 right hook thing, which is that you create that appeal up front and then you funnel them in. So one of the top tips that I would give is that don't deny, put your passion forward first, don't deny what that is.
Whatever it is.
And then let that act as a pipeline to other things that you might do that might generate more money for you.
Brilliant.
Because people definitely have an empathy, they relate to passion first. They know when you're talking about DJing that's different to when you're talking about something else that you do. And although I'm equally passionate about them, I recognize which one to put forward first to help monetize the second.
Right. Well said. There you have it, ladies and gents. Raj Kotecha, once again, brother, thank you very much.
Always love.
Thank you very much. Once again, you can catch him on Twitter. That's at Raj Kotecha. Let me see if I could do it second time in a row. At RAJKOTECHA.
You got it. Same on Insta, same on Snapchat, and type that into Facebook. You'll find me as well. Anybody needs help, anybody needs anything, just holler at me. This is what I do for a living.
There you go. And the website is www.creativecontentagency.com.
Yeah, creativecontentagency.com. And because this video that we're going to put out is going to live on the internet forever, also check out rajkotecha.com, RAJKOTECHA.com, because in 2017 and moving forward, that's going to become a really big content platform for a lot of the projects I've done. Everything from Wu-Tang Clan to Russell Peters to stuff with, sheikhs and presidents and different things like that. I'm going to put it all in one central place so that people can flick through and take what they want from it.
Right. Funny you say that, man. I almost forgot. Saw you in a photo with was it President, Prime Minister?
President of Sri Lanka.
All right, very quickly, how did that come about?
Well, one of my clients has a business where it's a hotel investment forum, and the kind of people that come to these forums are people that own hotels, invest in hotels, and operate hotels.
Right.
So an operator would be like a Hilton or a Sheraton or a Four Seasons. The owner would be the guy or girl that owns the 300-room building. And then the bank would be, if I own a building and I say, okay, Hilton, you can come and use it for 20 years, and the cost of the whole deal will be 150 million. Of course, a bank is going to want to fund that debt and say, well, I see where that's going. That looks like a good deal because that hotel is going to be near an airport. I'd like to be the one that finances it and benefit from the upside. So essentially, they're the three communities that come together. And of course, governments have a huge incentive in inviting these forums to their countries because they spike tourism. And one of the easiest wins for a country like Sri Lanka or like Dubai or India or Jamaica, a million different places, is that if you have natural beauty, you have that appeal for people to come over and vacation there. And of course you need infrastructure, roads, hotels, stability, security, and that's what a lot of my clients' work does, is they enable prosperity for countries. And I head up their media, and it's really, bro, from DJing and carrying around crates to this, if I'm not living proof that this is real and you can do it, then I don't know what is. And I just hope that one person either watching my video or listening to the show right now goes, you know what, there's got to be some logic in what that dude's saying, and I can do it and I can do better. And if you're that person, then contact me right now, because the reason why I put out this kind of content is I'm looking for people out there to step up and be like, you know what, Raj, you talk a good game. I think I can rock with you. Because for me, finding another dude like me, even if or girl, every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, is exponentially good for me and for them. So if you're out there and you're listening and you think that you're about life the way I am, then get in contact. And I appreciate the opportunity to come to the show today as well. Much love.
Once again, and thank you for coming. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Raj Kotecha, get to know. We're going to keep it moving with some music, and I'll be back right after this.